Hello and welcome to Patches In. My name is Dom, and here for another episode of Patch Notes is Hugh.
Hi.
And Hamish.
Hi everyone.
Right boys, we're on number 3 of the Resi movies. Hugh, you look like you got something to say, do you?
I regret this.
3 movies in, you're regretting it already. Is that more or less than the Scorpion King patch notes?
I think Scorpion King was a more fun film series to watch.
You're just saying that because it's in the back now and you know that you've got more Resi films to watch.
I honestly see because this film series, I know it doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
At least there was that element of surprise with the Scorpion King ones, right?
Mm.
Where you're like, maybe the next one, but I know they're all bad. So
I never had that hopefulness with the Scorpion King films.
we're in one shots next time, boys, right? One shots.
Shots?
Hey,
Yeah.
it's not that late. It's a late night. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Hamish is kind of crack.
Whoop ass.
I honestly think that I would rather play Resident Evil than now. I'm honestly thinking about playing.
But you're a shitebag, Hugh.
I know I'm a shitebag, right? But Resident Evil isn't scary.
Yeah,
It isn't scary.
it's goofy more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can outrun zombies in the game. Yeah, I'm not saying I can outrun anything in real life, but in the game.
Well, no, you're accumulating mass, so it's okay.
Yeah, this is all momentum. Using the momentum, speed, physics. You know what I mean?
No,
You're trying to remember what law that was, wasn't it?
If I build up momentum,
Who's
It's
that?
going to be harder to stop you.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know, Momentum.
You know Rhino from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I like Rhino. Comic books, I understand.
Anything we can to avoid talking about.
Hamish, what's your first thoughts of this movie?
My first thought was that I've put the wrong movie on. Because it obviously starts with the same sequence as the very first movie, with Alice waking up in the mansion, going through the same things.
Scar though.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I was, she's lying naked in a shower. I'm not looking at her scar, mate. So, but
see under the towel.
No, I was taking notes and obviously being very.
Photos and screenshots.
That was, yeah. I honestly thought I'd put on the wrong movie, and then it was because I, didn't happen to get this movie from any legitimate means.
Nah, obviously not.
Because I'm not paying money for this shit, basically. Yeah. But then obviously, I thought that was actually kind of cool that you get the wee callbacks from the films. You get when she's waking up, and then the wee laser corridor and stuff like that. I was surprised because I was like, I didn't think they would be clever enough to do something like that.
Yeah.
No.
I can't remember his actual name.
Ian Glenn. I told you this last time.
Jorah Mormont, mate. That's his name, right?
No, it was. I was very surprised. I was like, that's actually probably the highlight of the film, that they've actually thought ahead and like, oh, you know what, let's do a wee retrospective. And then she obviously dies, and then you just see a pile of Alice's in a ditch. It's like Auschwitz, you know what I mean? Like the mass grave, but it's like they're all her, so it's like a Westworld Auschwitz, like a West Witch.
Witch.
Westworld
Witch.
So just cloning Alice, try to figure it.
The secret of her blood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think what I was saying, there's plenty of plot holes in this movie, and that's kind of one of them right away, of the whole cloning thing. So they were very much our resources are scattered everywhere. We need to have all these clones. We need to keep cloning Alice. And the doctor guy was pretty good at it. He was like, yeah, let's keep doing this, and we keep moving across. If he was smart enough, would he not maybe clone himself a few times? So then there's a lot of him working on the one project, rather than just doing the way. But then it's also civilization's fucked, but they're too busy dicking about with Alice clones rather than fixing the actual issue. Maybe of I know how to solve the issue with zombies. Let's create super smart zombies. Let's do they kept going down this hole. It's oh no, it's not this, and you're it's evolution. It's no, you fucked this up. Fix it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't get what Umbrella's end goal is here.
It's a terrible PR stunt as well, because the last one they went, oh well, it wasn't our fault, and then suddenly there's no water, everything's desert, there's no gas, they're fucked. And it's how the fuck? How did we miss a movie in between here? That's what I kept thinking. I was no, there's definitely. It's just went. That's it. We're extinct now, and it's zombies rule the world.
It's basically just kind of wasteland, isn't it?
Yeah.
In this one.
I think it's in Nevada desert they're meant to be in, because
Nevada.
obviously they get to Las Vegas, but like it just seems very everyone's convenient in these films. You never see anybody actually, like, it's like always set piece, cool things happen. There's never any kind of like through line within.
Yeah.
I don't get what Umbrella's end goals are. Like, are they trying to cure everybody?
I think it's more like they have created bioweapons so they can sell to have more money to then make more bioweapons. I think it's like a vicious cycle.
Everyone's deep.
Well, there's people that are all in the other like caves and stuff like that hiding away. Like
They
it was
didn't
the first
really plan
introduce-
that, to be fair.
Yeah, and the first introduction of Wesker, which you wouldn't believe. I remember going. I remember my first reaction when I seen that. I went, "That's not Wesker. Come on."
Oh, the kind of pudgy guy in the
Yeah.
The wee shades.
The wee shades. He didn't have his hair like slicked back or anything. I went, "No, that's not how they're introducing him." And it was like Wesker, and I went, "Oh man, what's next? When they fucking introduce Claire Redfield being like nothing like Claire Redfield?" And yeah, she comes up, and I'm like, "This is fucking stupid. I hate this."
why am I watching this?
Why am I watching this? The thing I would give, like, the positives for the movie is like it was shot well. It looked really good. Like, see, for a Resi movie, I was like, wow, they've actually put a bit of a budget behind this. Like the motel scene when they're in there like trying to look for like survivors and stuff. And there's the dummy. Was it a dummy baby that we had there? And it turns around and it's a woman jumping out.
The old fake baby trick.
Yeah.
That old chestnut.
You should never fall for that. He runs away through.
Why would you want a baby who makes loads of noise and attracts attention in a zombie apocalypse, mate?
Yeah.
You'd strangle that baby just to save yourselves.
Did you like how the guy that was on like the radio comms and stuff like that, his name was Mikey, and he was on the mics? I hated that. I wrote that down.
I hated that as well. Like, not that part of the movie, just Dom's joke about it.
No, it wasn't a joke. It was like his name was Mikey. I'm like, is he on the mic? I hate this. I literally wrote that down.
I was quite surprised. Like after that, the fake baby, and then Alice obviously gets captured, and then it just turns real rapey, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Like
real rapey, real.
Yeah, like that was just uncomfortable. Like, and so unnecessary. Like, why don't they just want to kill her? Why do you need to add in that weird stuff?
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Hills of Eyes type shit.
Yeah.
See, I went to see this in the cinema, right? But I actually waited on someone outside because it was like.
Are they still showing this in the cinema?
Well, I think this was 2007. This came out.
2007, yeah.
Do you remember that far back?
I remember walking in because I was late, obviously.
Shocker.
You're always late, man.
And I walked in and it was Alice was in like the hole, and they were looking down at her, and I was like, "What's going on?" How much have I missed? And I was like, "Wait, is it these hillbillies?"
And then that's when we see. Is this the third film we've had the bacon dogs in?
Yeah, bacon dogs.
Bacon dogs. I didn't like the way that was shot though, that scene, because like the shaky cam was just all over the place.
Yeah,
like I know they're trying to
bacon dogs.
Yeah, probably. But like you couldn't even really see what was going on. I'm pretty sure she punched one in the face at one time. Like that's what it looked like. But it was.
That's how you get rid of dogs, Hamish. Right in the face.
Yeah.
I do think like it's hard to do a zombie movie in the daylight. I think it's always difficult to do that. Walking Dead do it quite well because the zombies aren't like they're just like slow.
It's not
like
they're
undead rather than zombies that try to like eat for brains. They're more like nuisance walking into fences and stuff.
Supposedly Paul Anderson wanted to make this like Mad Max. So
you definitely get that vibe from it.
Yeah.
When they're going the convoy with the trucks and stuff like that, and how they're planning on where they're getting gas and stuff like that.
I watched a wee clip about that, like one of the extras clips on YouTube, and it was like, Paul Anderson wrote this script for this film, and at the end, Alice turns into like a tyrant. She's like a monster.
All right, okay.
Mila Jovovich was like, "No, that's not happening."
You're like, come on.
That's like no, get me naked again. Like,
I do that all day.
Also, he was too busy filming Speed Racer 2000 with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, the Death Race. Yeah.
Oh, Death Race. Speed Racer's like the anime, isn't it?
Yeah. I was like, wait, hold on.
Sorry, anime on the brain.
Such a weeb.
Death Race, which is I think it's also a terrible film.
Also based on a game as well, Carmageddon.
Is it actually Carmageddon?
I don't think it's anything like it. I've not seen the film, but
just like Resident Evil then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, quite a lot of similarities.
He got some Australian director to do it, and like I don't think the guy done anything else. I think he just was like he knew him.
Russell McCauley.
Yeah. But then I saw it like here the wee like 10-second clip. I was like, oh, when I read this script, it was amazing. I really wanted to do this, and I was like, how many shit scripts must he get sent? Like,
Yeah.
this
Everything
one's the
that's
best
amazing.
one.
Oh, yeah. So I've just clicked on his name. Yeah, he did all the Highlander movies.
All of them.
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, Resurrection. Yeah, he did the first one, which was great. Then he did
Right.
the second one, which was god awful and killed the series. But guess what else he did? Scorpion King 2.
Oh, did he actually?
No, he didn't.
The movie's here, just like it's just showing up there. Scorpion King 2.
That's
Yep,
like the basic
director.
level of research we should have done.
Yeah.
Director there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
that name should have rung a bell because we should have known that. Like,
Yeah. Again, as soon as I seen that name, I went, hold on. That's why I clicked on it. I was like, oh no. But yeah, it had that kind of smell to it. I mean, when you can physically smell a movie.
So Alice has unspecified powers in this.
Well,
Yeah.
she's like telekinetic, but we knew that before.
But she's telekinetic and satellites can control her.
Yeah, they're kind of like. Well, he's
like a mobile
looking. Yeah, he's looking for her, and then she eventually comes out hiding, and
Yeah.
that's how they track her down.
And she gets a diary, didn't she? Or somebody's diary, and it says like, there's like
Nebraska or
Alaska.
Alaska. Nebraska.
that's like two totally different places.
Same thing.
But basically,
Pretty
like,
much to me, it's the same thing.
that the same old zombie trope, like, oh, I've heard that this is a safe place, you know, and so they're trying to make their way there, but they need to go to get enough fuel. They need to go through Las Vegas. I just thought it was funny in this film, like, because it's called Extinction, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's proper wasteland, but every woman in it still like beautiful looking, all done their makeup and stuff like that. Like, obviously they get up in the morning, it's like, I could die any moment, but you know, better get my
It's that
my eyeliner on.
pressure on them.
Yeah.
They're good. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
it's
and they're-
society's pressure.
It's also like, what else are they going to do? They can't smoke because like there's a very like lack of cigarettes because everyone's stress smoked their way through situations and now no one has any cigarettes.
Yeah, they were
How
all
does the
kind
guy
of.
from the Mummy look even cooler in this one as well? Like just like
It's because he smokes.
he's like, all right, cool. I've got my badass look on now.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes until he fucking goes out like a loser.
Did you see all the sort of the Sony product placements though? Everything was like Sony Vios
didn't notice that,
yeah.
no.
I was sitting going like the laptops they were using and they brought up all the information. It's like Sony Vio right in the middle of it. I'm like,
No one fucking bought a Sony Vio.
no one.
The only people that had Sony Vios were people in Sony films. Spider-Man had a Sony Vio.
Yeah. They also had a Sony phone. Like no one had Sony phones.
A Sony phone?
No. Like the only people I know that ever had Sony Vios were my brother who was given it from his pal who went, oh, I got it free because they were handing them out and it was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I can run my FIFA stats on it, power went off and that was it, dead. It's like, oh, this is great. I fucking hate Sony.
Yeah, that's what it did.
Well, no wonder they need to pay movies to advertise their stuff if it's that shit. You
Yeah, I
know?
don't think they make Vio laptops anymore. I don't think they make like Sony shut down so much of their stuff. The only successful line now is PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they make TV? Oh, they do make. They do
They
make
make
TVs.
televisions.
They make really good TVs.
The brand new
Nah.
series is still going on.
Nah, Sony TVs aren't
No,
that
the
good.
best TV out right now is a Sony.
Nah.
Because that's the one I wanted to buy.
LG, mate.
LG,
Well,
I still
that's
do.
like, you're hearing like I bought a new TV. The Sony was better, but it was more expensive, so I went with LG.
Yeah.
There we go. Good lad.
Anyway.
Any like, I've known people that have had a few Sony TVs, and there's always an issue with like connecting sound bars and stuff like that. They never work smoothly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll talk. About,
Anyway, yeah.
We'll talk about TV in the next one.
Again, just trying to avoid this fucking film.
Right, so we've got characters from the second film have been like, you know, they've been brought into this film.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember their names.
Yeah, Mummy Guy and the guy that was going to be Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Epps.
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, yeah.
Mike Epps. I know
Aye,
Mike Epps.
yeah.
Mike Epps. Mike Epps. Mike Epps.
Mike Epps?
Mike
Or
Epps.
your Kips?
Your Kips, yes.
So they
Our
two,
Kips.
they two losers. They're out of this. They get snuffed.
Well, you're going right way ahead of it. Like,
And you're not even tickling them.
It's
Just
Yeah.
go straight
This is
into
a
it.
blob to me. This film.
Mike Epps gets bitten and then does the whole hiding it thing again, another trope.
So,
and,
like, with what they were doing that, like the hiding away and stuff, it felt like it went by really slow for him, but for like Carlos, it went like instantly. He was like, "Yeah, I'm fucked."
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
"Wait, what's happened since like Mike Epps getting bitten to then him getting bitten?"
It's
And
like,
Michelle Rodriguez got bit like 9 times.
She was like,
the whole film.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Hugh was saying, it's just convenience, you know what I mean? It's like, this will be cool for the story, so
Yeah.
this person can last much longer than the other, but
It's maybe because
obviously-
he had it before, maybe. like in the second
Nah,
movie.
that's too much logic.
Actually, that's a good
They
point.
probably forgot that he even had it.
Oh, what happened? Oh, so no one watched the second movie.
But talking about ridiculous things like the bird attack.
Yes, the
That was,
crows.
Very
was
funny.
ridiculous. Or like one of the birds like screams in a woman's face, like, and then
Thanks, Tom.
there's like 500, easily like 500 birds there.
Yeah.
But a couple of them get pistols and start shooting, and it's like, what do you think that's gonna do?
Birds. I was like, the birds got pistols now? Crows
Nah,
with
they-
pistols? Fucking hell.
They like into this massive flock of crows or whatever they were, and they're a massive murder. And they're shooting pistols, and it's like, even if you shoot one with every bullet you've got, it's still going to be like 489.
Yeah.
Like, what was the
An
plan?
Impressive looking scene though. Like that was probably the coolest looking scene so far in the 3 films. The way the camera moved, the way the birds were.
It was a threat. It was an actual threat.
And then when they shot the flamethrower,
Yeah,
that was all pretty cool. And then they made it ridiculous.
How did
by
they make it
Alice
ridiculous here?
like
Alice is-
blowing it up.
Alice's Android 17 fucking force field.
Yeah,
She has a Dragon Ball Z reference.
I got it.
It was very much like again written for convenience that she comes in and saves everyone, and it's like we felt a magnetic pulse come from this area. It is her, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that's it.
I think that's one of those scenes where they've thought, it'd be really cool if like she could explode something, and so they worked backwards from that,
Yeah.
and ended up starting with fucking crows.
No, be cool. The birds. Like,
Like there was a weird explanation. Like there was no Jill in this. I know that Jill would have loved this. Like she would have probably chucked everyone off the bus, taken the bus herself. Like because she doesn't care about anybody in this movies.
Yeah.
In these movies,
I think she comes back though. in
she does
later
come back.
films.
She comes back in the
I mean, I
fifth
was-
movie, I think.
I had to check. She's my favourite character so far.
You might like her. She goes blonde.
Nice.
Two different reactions.
Uh,
And then obviously the other guy that you were talking about, what was it, Hugh, the brown guy?
The guy, the Australian man that was in The Mummy.
Yeah, the mummy guy. Obviously,
Odo Fell. Is that his name? Is?
I'm not trying to say that.
yeah,
Although-
him, yeah. His death as well was ridiculous. 'Cause obviously, earlier on in the film, they're asking like, "Oh, anyone got a cigarette? Anyone get a cigarette?" And then he's lying there in this like demolished truck, loads of zombies coming in, and then he just lights up a cigarette because there's obviously like petrol that he can blow up. But then there's like the slow zoom out up above camera and stuff like that, and he's just like smoking his cigarette, and I was like, I wasn't expecting to see a cigarette commercial in the middle of a
Yeah.
fucking zombie film. Like,
And you were like, man, I really need to smoke that.
I genuinely did. I was like, that looks good, doesn't it?
Sucker for advertising, isn't he?
So see when
Oh, by the way, I got a Sony Vaio.
I can play my Raid Shadow Legends on this. So, like, see when they said that they had like the zombie like mental capacity back at 62%, and it was like 62%. They kind of were like, "That's great," and it's like it's almost 100. It's like,
I mean,
no,
they
guys.
say that humans only use 10% of their brain, so those are some smart zombies.
Yeah,
that's
that's
all
true.
52% more.
Do you know what,
That was
guys?
me
We've
using my
got-
10% there.
We've got zombies. Let's make more zombies. That'll be the plan to get rid of the zombies.
So see what they were using it as like when they were in Vegas, and obviously the desert took it back was like the line. I was like, that's
No, that is.
was it? The desert took Vegas back because
I think that's
obviously
a thing that's been in a few films, isn't
yeah,
it?
the
Yeah,
desert-
I think they actually do need to do that.
yeah, they
Aye,
keep the
it-
sand away from the roads. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Vegas is in the middle of a fucking desert.
They just get Anakin Skywalker to just walk around because he hates sand, so
Of course, gets
he
everywhere.
pushes it all away.
And then that was just like these big like basically shipping containers full of them. And
Yeah.
they just wrecked everybody. And I was like, hold on, I thought we were finding a cure here, and you're making super soldiers out of like this nonsense.
Yeah, I saw. I never really got the hero. What is he trying to do? If he was trying to cure this with Alice's blood, I'm pretty sure Alice would be like, "Oh, we can cure it."
I don't think he was trying to cure it. I think he was trying to make more Alice's.
Yeah,
And
For
then
what?
for an army.
yeah, an army of Alice's.
What? Everybody's dead.
I know, but still, mate, he's power mad. But then obviously he did kind of start to be able to control zombies, make them like smart enough to do tasks and things like that. So then I think that was his plan. Like, well, you can have a workforce of zombies.
It's like a socio-economic commentary
Exactly.
on
That's
the modern workplace.
that's exactly where I was going with this.
Also more neck
Should.
breaks.
Yeah.
There's so many neck bits. You're like, yeah. Everyone just like, oh, someone just turns around, breaks their own neck. That's it. It's great.
I didn't really understand why there was other characters in this apart from Alice, because she's the only one that's competent. Everyone else is incompetent.
Yeah. I did like the shut her down moments, like shut her down, and I was like, yeah, I bet all men would like a button like that. I wore that down going, yeah. But when they killed off Mikey, I got sad. I was like, no, Mikey. But it was so again, we were saying about the satellite and stuff that they were forcing down.
So just got a funny message.
The satellite was pointing down at Alice, and then Alice somehow managed to fight with the satellite up in space. Like that's not how.
It's a Wednesday for her, mate.
Are the same waves and stuff like that? It's just, she's so powerful that she can breach the atmosphere.
Was she Goku now?
Yeah, she is Goku. She basically is the new Goku.
How many
The better
goddamn
Goku.
Dragon Ball references are we going to get in
Too
this
many.
Resident Evil?
See Dom? Sorry.
I can see them right there.
But the antivirus obviously wasn't working because the main doctor guy got bitten. He was like, oh no, and then he was pumping himself full of so much. And they're like, mate, you shouldn't be using too much of the antivax. He's like, no, this is what anti-vax all the way. And everyone's like, oh, this is a difficult conversation to have.
So it's a commentary on vaccinations.
It is.
Fucking hell, this film.
It's layers, mate. It's like a lasagna of movies.
It's hitting all of the political subtle beats that you need to hit to be an art house film.
Also, it has tits.
What? 10 out of 10.
Yep.
But yeah, so Ian Glenn's character, he turns into. Do they have a name?
Tyrant.
Tyrant.
Yeah, it's more like Tyrant.
But I'm assuming that his tentacles, that's what they originally wanted to do with Nemesis.
Yes, that's what they were aiming for beforehand, but I don't think they had the budget or
they said it
the
wouldn't.
direction and stuff.
So they went with the cardboard cutout of Nemesis that we got.
But to be
With
fair,
a
I thought
minigun,
this looked a lot better. Like there was an actual, for the last part of the movie after they got out of the desert and into a lab that was
set.
Yeah, it was much more like what I expect a Resident Evil movie to be. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, the last 10 minutes of this movie, I'm like, okay, this is why wasn't it more like this? But then obviously it's because maybe they're like, oh, we don't know we need to get a story. We need to somehow
Get to this bit.
Get to this bit without using psychic powers and all the stuff that Alice could do and make sure that no one can help her. I know, we'll just have her just walk in after getting jumped in the helicopter and stuff. But yeah, the security guards were pretty shit as well. They're really bad security. They're just getting shot and dying.
Just regular henchmen, just
Neck breaks and that just by looking at them.
Disposable guys, mate.
But no, it did at the end of it, or near the end of it. It actually felt like there was a bit of a threat compared to Nemesis and the other one, because it was just, he couldn't move. He was
stuck.
couldn't turn his head. He had to move his whole body. It was just very unthreatening.
So see with before Carlos basically blew himself up, drove in just so they can get into the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Alice or Lena Jovic's face looked really odd? I stopped it and rewound it a few times because they made her face look like it looked like it had a Instagram or TikTok filter over her.
No.
It looked really like and I was like, is that because it was out in the sun and stuff? She was like, no, I don't like that, but do up my face so it'll look normal, but it doesn't. It really stood out. I was like, oh no, it happened a few times.
Think
in the
it was
movie.
our
They've CGI'd it after.
double or something like that, and they've tried to CGI her face.
Maybe.
She very rarely uses doubles though.
Yeah, because she wants to do all the stunts and stuff like that and
I
punch
think-
people in the face.
I think in each
Yeah,
film,
that's what she wanted to
in
do.
each film, there's only been one scene where she's used a stunt double.
I
And that's the
just
running
just
glass bit,
in case
wasn't it?
Maybe they were maybe
Yeah.
she was tired that day.
Yeah.
Tired
But,
of this fucking shit. Paul, this is bollocks. This fucking script.
but yeah, I'd still. And then we're right at the end. I wrote down here it's begun the Clone Wars has.
Yeah, so you see Alice with all of her wee
Yes.
extra Alices.
And the wee bubbles and the wee water bubbles.
I don't think they ever come back. Do they? The Alice's.
Oh, they do. I wait till the
Do we
next
have an
movie.
army of Alice? I don't think I watched any more
So-
after this.
I
We
don't,
went
I don't think I
from-
even saw this
We
one.
went from superpowered to psychic to clones.
Yeah.
Where else can you go in these movies?
Space.
What's left, mate?
Well, she's been to space. She fought the satellite one, didn't she?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
See? And people thought Fast and the Furious was silly.
Do you know the only thing I remember from later films? I never seen him. It was a trailer. I think it was either Wesker or Ian Glenn's character throwing his sunglasses and then blowing up.
It's Wesker.
And I'm like, what the is that? A grenade sunglasses?
You not got like remote detonated sunglasses, mate?
Yeah.
No, I probably
All the
should,
cool
though.
kids have.
What? They'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
Get
Terrible.
that clip.
Awful.
Clip it out of this podcast.
That's because that movie was like actually shot for 3D. So see when they throw the glasses, it's supposed to be like, whoa.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to get this in 3D. aren't we?
No, we're not watching in 3D.
I'll get my old 3D TV out, you know.
It was weird to have the AI be friendly to Alice as well. Because like,
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, we actually want to cure the world, and like this guy keeps fucking it up because he's roiding himself out up in the anti-vax stuff.
Like, you want to kill him? Like, we're trying to get shit done. This
Yeah.
guy's just trying to be giant.
He's
Yeah.
like, I just want to be huge. Get swole, boys.
It was especially strange because obviously in the first one, you've got the
The red.
Red Queen or whatever she's called.
Yeah.
So you're. I was always kind of expecting like, nah, you're at it. Like, yeah.
You're at it.
Like,
She's got a.
girls in films. You're like, nah,
Aye.
she's gonna murder you or something. Like that.
Yeah, never sits well with me. You know,
You got laser in again.
they're children and they're women, so they can never trust them.
God damn.
So overall, the next movie's obviously it's like leading into like Alice going around the world to stop. Jesus, Alice is going around the world to basically stop Umbrella, and there was no Resident Evil 2 funky bass music that happens at the end of Leon's ending, so I was like, ugh, it's not worth it then. Yeah, so budget was 45 million, so you could actually see it was more expensive than the last two, but it made 147 million.
What the honest to God fuck?
That's
Yeah.
insane, isn't it?
It's one of the, do you know, funnily enough, it's one of the worst rated Resident movies, and I went, yeah, I could see that. It did have some moments. I felt it was a lot better than 2 though, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2 is honest to God the lowest, most boring part of the series.
Mhm.
Saying that, I've only ever seen up to this one. I've only seen 3. The
You,
first
you
one,
just hope that that's the lowest. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
we looked on Plex, didn't we? And we saw the star ratings, and I think they were all below 1. How'd you get less than 1 stars?
Yeah.
So the next few films after this are going to actually be surprises.
yes, for yourselves,
Yes,
you've not, yeah.
probably shockingly bad, but like,
Yeah.
still surprises nonetheless. We should probably get together and watch one.
Yeah, make it bearable.
Share the pain.
Yeah, I think that may be a good, and then we all can take notes and then laugh at each other's notes.
We'll just record the podcast. Let's not waste any time. Like, we'll just watch it and record it as we're watching it.
Oh, like a let's watch? Oh no, man, that's gonna be awful.
And then about every 10 minutes, like a wee pause break, like, I can't take it anymore. Give me
Amy's just like, I
I
need
need
to
a
go for a
break.
cigarette. Amy's just smoked 2 packs already. He said, I need to go and get more.
Just patches of the patches all over him.
Just sweating profusely. I hate it.
Do you know what gets me right? Paul Anderson's writing these scripts, right, and they have almost zero. Like, they're just using,
Tropes.
names of the things from Resident Evil.
Mm.
With character names some of the time. Just Umbrella's in it, T-Virus is in it. There you go. That's
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
You get that a lot, though, with, like, these game movie tie-ins
Yeah,
where,
I never understood it.
like, Max Payne and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that guy's called Max Payne, but it's not really,
The Max Payne game had like a really compelling story,
Yeah.
about revenge, but like Resident Evil 1 had a story.
Mm.
It was a cool, creepy manor with some special forces guys. Like, that's a film. You could make that a film.
Yeah.
Like,
But they didn't.
they went, nah. Fuck that. Superpowered Mila Jovovich. There we go.
Well, he's in the next movie, like in the last 2 movies of Resi. Paul W.S. Anderson's directing them this time.
Good.
So you might see it it does change. I remember the last one being fucking ridiculous and like so bad it's good kinda. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Hopefully none of them are over 90 minutes.
No, I don't think so.
That was a real turn up. See, we were watching Scorpion King and it was like 150 minutes. I was like, what the fuck?
What do they need to tell in this length? And then you watch it and go, this was why am I wasting my time? Why do we do this?
It's because there's, like, fight scenes that are all slow motion, but they last for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Could have
I
just
said
had
to
it
fill
over.
up the time. They could have
Yeah.
condensed it down, or just hit play rather than slow it down.
Yeah.
It would have looked better. I see you fast forward it a bit. It looks a wee bit better.
Yeah.
It looks
It'll
like
speed
going
up.
fast.
And they also sound like chipmunks, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, though, I think for this one I'd probably give it 12 out of 10. No, 12 out of 20 hams.
12 out of 20 hams?
Yeah, 12 out of 20. I've upped
scale is this?
my ham scale. Because there's a lot of things. No, 12 maybe is a bit high.
Yeah.
8 out of 20 hams.
The hamometer was like, just
So
under
about a
this.
4 out of 10.
Well, it's a lot more complicated than that, Hugh.
You remember, you got to measure the slice, the weight of the ham,
Saltiness.
the saltiness he feels.
Yeah,
Quite salty,
you like a salty ham? Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of my own scale here.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, how many
We're-
hams is it?
We're on the ham scale, mate.
Yeah. Hudometer.
It's hard to actually like,
It did have
hate
some
this film.
redeeming moments,
Yeah.
you know.
because it's got some like, oh, that's interesting.
I think it looks really good. They're like shot for Mad Max / Resident Evil movie, kind of
Yeah.
what they're going for. I think they nailed the aesthetic for it. The story was just shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
did
the
like
problem.
the setting of the whole deserty wasteland post-apocalyptic world. I like that a lot better than, the second one. It was just a bit bland in a kind of city, and the first one was a wee bit restricted, being in the hive underground and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I did like the direction that took.
but it's like 3 movies in, like, and you're doing like the world's extinct, and you're like, well, where'd you go from here? There's no way. There's no way up. The only way is like more like cloning, I guess. And
This feels like an episode of a TV show. You know what I mean? Like this is like the 4th episode, or it's like the 3rd episode of a fucking TV show where you're like, I'm still waiting on whatever this conclusion is.
The
going
actual
to be.
kind of story.
yeah,
and the-
when they get into the fireworks factory, like that kind of Pucci moment.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, where the fuck's still I'm getting after? But like, do you know, like, this film is like a middle part of a main story, and you're like, how did he fucking know he was getting 6 films?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this kid thinks he was getting 6 films at Resident Evil.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck you, Paul Anderson.
and a Monster Hunter movie.
Do you know I've yet to watch it? I actually do want to watch that. One.
I see a wee cheeky smile.
No,
there,
I
it is.
do, like, because I've heard some good things about it. Like, good things as in it's like enjoyable to watch.
The thing is, it's a lot more of a ridiculous concept in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CGI 's
So
better.
you kind of expect it to be a bit silly, so it can get away with it. But I've not actually seen that. But we could maybe watch that
Yeah.
after this. But let's get
One-offs,
through this
boys,
shit.
one-offs.
Yeah.
I don't see this as anymore.
I will
One-offs.
say that I enjoyed this a lot more. So I think 6 out of 10. I'd give this one.
6 out of 10. What, Dom?
What would be a good one for me?
Hams, mate. So we're all on hams.
We're on ham
We're
time.
on. It's ham. It's ham o'clock, mate.
Ham o'clock.
TikTok, ham o'clock.
Well, I'd have to go opposite because less hams the better.
So Hugh's going to 6 out of 10 salads.
A million hams.
A million.
Hugh's never had 6 salads in his lifetime.
Well, you know.
About that.
You know, like what counts as American salads are just mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Like,
Not just the wee bit of lettuce on your burger that you actually asked them to take it off, but then you're too afraid
What
to go
game
back
of
and
play-
say to them, "I'm sorry,
That's
this
why
isn't
you
what I
got
ordered."
Sinead goes up and does it for.
what game we playing here, then? You know, lettuce and tomato and a salad.
And utters it.
Anyway,
A salad.
we're gonna need a podcast episode just
Define
debating the.
Define your salad. But I give about I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'd say
That's
it's
not
like-
bad.
I think it was visually stunning, like for at the time.
Mila Jovovich is.
The locations and that were great. The last 15 minutes feel like a Resident Evil game with like the thriller and the kind of Titan aspect, that actually looking good, and going back to the very start of the movie where it's like, they got the laser room and stuff. It was a bit of a cop out at the end though, with the laser killing the tyrant and that kind of, we've already seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been done before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a callback though, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, remember this? This was funny. He killed that watermelon guy.
Yeah, but now they just know, like, anytime, shit, I can't actually kill this thing. Can you just follow me to the laser room, please? Like,
Thank God we brought the laser with us.
Sorry, give it a space there. Did you say watermelon guy?
Yeah.
yeah, the guy that Hugh was racist about.
Yeah, that's what.
No,
yeah.
they got chopped up and they looked like slices of watermelon, dog.
We had this conversation before.
Sorry, I was
Hugh's
like,
racist.
I just wanted to be sorry. I
You
just
guys need to open up your fruit preferences, right? If you've never seen chopped up watermelon, like, that's what that looked like.
but I'm more worried because like
There's a lot of things you can cube, mate.
Yeah, melon.
Watermelon.
No, you can do
Yeah.
melon. You don't need to bring race into it.
His blood was red.
That's not why you. anyway.
It's associated to. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
guys, you're putting ideas in your own head here.
I'm just going on what you said.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? You just wanted me to make that joke, and I didn't make it. And now
You did, though.
Now you're putting that on me.
Anyway. Hey. So that's... Sorry?
Rein this in.
Bring it in. Bring it home, boys. So next time on Patch Notes, we've got the next Resident Evil movie. I think there's only 5.
What is the fourth one called?
It's Retribution.
Strikes back.
Retribution Strikes Back. That's like a double negative.
I'd watch that. So I think that's the one with all the Alice clones and them going. Guess where they go, Hugh? Guess where they go right away? No,
Japan.
Yeah, they mention it.
Yeah, they talk about that in the film, like they're at the Japan office or something like that.
Did they
Like,
actually go though?
Yeah, they're going to go to Japan.
What do we see anything cool?
I don't know. You'll have to find out
you'll see Japan probably, mate, if they go to Japan.
I know, but
next time on Patch Notes.
Oh.
quit this podcast.
Don't worry, I'm just making a whole bunch of clones of me. So and then it's like the big balls and all that. It says, "Yeah, and then we'll get nothing done," and then it cuts to credits. That's what basically happened with Resi. Just there. Here's all these Alices. Wonder what's going to happen. Cut the credits.
Yeah, you just have to find out next time on this shitty fucking film series.
Bye, everyone.
This is like a good podcast.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.